Good evening, it's Graham Healy from Rise Up Australia, Brisbane 2025. I'm just adding part two to Blood on His Hands, meaning the insipid, weak village idiot that we've got running the country, Albanese, has blood on his hands as of Sunday night, the 14th of December. Why has he got blood on his hands? For over 2 years, he has supported the Free Palestine proxy marches for Hamas. He has participated in these marches. The character that held the rifle, miscellaneously shooting Jewish people on Bondi Beach, including children, was at these marches, identified on video. After the 7th of October 2023, when Hamas went into Israel and slaughtered 1,200 Jews, there's video footage of radical clerics of the Islamic persuasion celebrating in the streets of Sydney. This is all on video. All these characters should be identified by ASIO, which they would have their names, addresses and all that, and they should all be immediately deported. And as a matter of fact, I think you should deport Albanese with them. So, these marches, the Free Palestine people who obviously haven't got any intelligence, because Palestine's been free as of August the 15th, 2025. No Jewish people were in Palestine. It's not a country. It's just a sector there in the middle of the desert, or between the desert, that part of it, and the Mediterranean Sea. Now, I'm not going to get into detail on this. You can go on my website, Rise Up Australia, Brisbane 2025, and there's a lot more videos in depth there. But this is just a quick one. So on August the 15th, 2005, every Israeli moved out of Gaza. So for 10 years, what's happened? Well, this is what's happened. Hamas, the terrorist group, have taken over, and they took over 2006. And what have they done over the last 10 years? Well, they've built terror tunnels. They've launched rockets to eliminate Israel and attack Israel consistently in those 10 years. Now, these idiots who have marched in Australia, who should have been banned, by the way, because they were flying terrorist flags. They were flying, dressed in Yasser Arafat turbans, which is one of the global terrorists that started this whole Palestine fake thing. And you had these moronic people who can't even read what the story is on the internet, marching along with them, crying out genocide. It's just insane. Genocide of who? That's what you've got to ask. And the thing is, the question that, and I've got this on my website, Rise Up Australia, Brisbane 2025, how come these people, I mean, they're brainless, but this is just a simple question. How come they can't Google this on the internet and find out that basically Palestine, if you want to call it a country, an area, has been occupied by terrorists for the last 10 years? That's who's been ruling it. That's who's been attacking Israel consistently, declaring war on Israel. Their only thought pattern is elimination of the Jews. Now, these idiots who've been marching on these so-called Free Palestine pro-Hamas marches, including Albanese, by the way, all they were advocating was the genocide of the Jews. That's basically it. So it's just like reverse stupidity. The facts definitely aren't there with anyone who's done any of these marches, and they carry on about children. Right. Children being killed in war. Okay. Which war we want to talk about? We want to talk about World War One, the German children, or World War Two, the German children, the Japanese children, maybe, we want to talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. What about the children? Unfortunately, the blood of the children are on the hands of the aggressor. Now, in the case of Gaza, like any other war zone, the blood of the children are on the hands of the aggressor, which is Hamas, not Israel. You know, Israel give enough warnings to the civilian population, but the civilian population are all intermingled with the terrorists. Very difficult situation, that. And what about Vietnam? What about any other war that you would like to have a look at regarding the civilian population? What about in Nigeria at the moment, where the Muslims, Islamic Muslims, are eliminating and genocide of the Christians? How come we're not marching for that? So it's all a propaganda, rubbish, lying machine. And unfortunately, it all came home to roost the last 2 years of the Albanese incompetent pro-Hamas. Basically, they're pro-terrorists as far as I'm concerned, because signing those agreements regarding, Palestine is just like, you'd have to be a village idiot, which Albanese is, to do that. Now, the blood of whose blood is on the hands of Albanese? Well, he's responsible for what's happened at Bondi Beach. He never protected any Jewish people in this country. They're actually leaving to go back to Israel. Can you believe it? From Australia, being terrorised for 2 years. ASIO have known most of these characters. Nothing's been done about them. Why? Albanese's the reason, and his idiotic government. So where are we going from here? He's got to be removed. He's got to be removed. There's got to be a double dissolution and a referendum on free speech, and video footage of every single of these clerics, that the Islam clerics that have celebrated the slaughtering of Jews, including what happened on Sunday night, the 14th of December. The video footage, I'll take video, they've already got the video footage. Crikey, it's been on every news media you can possibly imagine. Every single one of those people who celebrated the slaughtering of Jews publicly should be deported immediately. And any connections to terrorism, any root cause of terrorism or connections, deporting immediately. That's what should be happening. Now, that's the end of the broadcast. So, all those Jewish people that have been killed and wounded, I think the number was 16 killed, including children. And I remember looking at that character with the rifle, who was actually spotted on the Free Palestine March across Sydney Harbour Bridge with a terrorist flag flying. I mean, how many signals do you need before anyone does any action? Enough is enough. We need to get rid of Albanese and his whole government. We need to hold a snap election, double dissolution, and we need to do a referendum on free speech. And then we need to go through all the security records of every single terrorist or potential terrorist who've publicly announced slaughtering Jews and anyone else for that matter. And they can identify them. They've all got them on video. Crikey, we've seen it on the news media. Deport the lot of them. And those Muslims that make Australia home, and I'm sure there are plenty of them as well. The thing is that we've got to be very careful with the ones that we've imported from Gaza and all these other places, including the so-called ISIS brides that the Albanese government secretly started importing. I mean, they've imported the cancer. And you've got to realise that this is an ideology that doesn't care about politics. Basically, you've got to treat it like a death cult. And the main objective of the death cult, all these terrorists, number one, is to eliminate Jews. That's their mantra. And number two, to eliminate all infidels or unbelievers. So that's you and I. So the security of this country, the main thing, I'll finish it off on this. The prime objective of any so-called prime minister in this country is the security of the citizens. The security of the citizens. That's been breached Sunday night like I've never seen in this country before. We were insulated and from all that. Now, because of the Albanese government and what's been allowed to go on for the last 2 years, we've got the cancer manifesting itself in this country. Now, that has to be reversed, and it has to be reversed immediately. That's Graham Healy, Rise Up Australia, Brisbane 2025. Plenty more videos on this subject. It's been brewing for years, actually. So it's got to be addressed now. Now is the time. And as I said to a friend of mine, if now's not the time, if we allow Albanese to go for another 2 years, Australia will be well and truly stuffed. We can't handle any more of this crap from him. Not only is he a communist, but he's a terrorist appeaser. That would be a nice term. Graham Healy over and out. Unfortunately, I would have loved for this to be a more pleasant video, but what do you say with this village idiot that we've got in charge of our country? God's sake, it's embarrassing, but now it's serious after Sunday night. God bless Israel, and our heart goes out to all the Israeli community. I've been involved with a lot of, stood up publicly for the Israeli community in quite a number of events here in Brisbane, and we'll also be praying for the Israeli community with other Israelis tomorrow night. So, we're doing our part, and the Lord will have victory at the end of the day, but we've got to get strong leadership in the meantime. Graham Healy over and out. Have a great night.